During April, myself and my friend Andy decided to walk from the South Lake District up to the very north. Join us as we follow the Cumbria Way Trail from Ulverston all the way to Keswick.
Well, they say that the hardest part about any through hike and any trail walk is actually getting to the start point. So we've just left Ulverston, which is the town at the bottom, and we've started at about 5 o'clock in the evening. So we know we're not going to get very far today, but we figured that we'd come a day early and we'd get as much distance in today, which would buy us some time to stop and relax and take it in without having to rush it. Like I said in my last video, we're not going to be doing the full walk, and we're very limited on time because we've both got other commitments outside of this that we've got to get back to on the Monday. So we've come a day early in the evening, trying to put as much distance in as possible so that we can enjoy the rest of the walk at an enjoyable pace and take it all in. 72 kilometres until we reach Keswick, which is where we're going to stop. Let's go. So what you can see there is Coniston Old Man, and that is the start of the mountain range of the Lake District, and that's where we've got to get to. So we've still got a fair way to go until we actually hit the mountains of the Lake District. But so far it's been rolling grassy hills and a few stiles to climb over, so it's fairly comfortable right now. We've stopped and we've got water because we know that the remainder of today is going to be pretty flat. We don't mind carrying it from a place where we thought the water seemed pretty good to filter and drink. Losing that sun now.
Yeah.
It's going to go cold.
Another hour sunlight, I think.
It's very windy.
The sun on day one was really warm, and as soon as it started to set behind the fells, we really started to feel the chill from the wind. We knew that wherever we put our tents that night, it needed to be in some sort of shelter.
On about 15 kilometres, nothing's really jumped out at us where we think we could put a tent. So we're just pushing on. And we're not really bothered about pitching close to dark, so any kilometres we do today we don't have to do tomorrow, or the next day, so we're just pushing on. Hopefully we shall find something soon. Good morning. So, that's night one on the Cumbria Way. Complete. A very windy night in the Lanshans. Not much sleep I had, I must admit. So, I'm hoping that doesn't exhaust me too much today. Andy said he was the same, the wind just kept us both up. We were pitched behind a wall that the wind was coming in on, but yeah, it was still rattling around it and getting to us, so God knows what it would have been like if we'd have been on the other side of that. Plan today is to do about 30 kilometres and probably reach somewhere around Langdale Valley. Hopefully find a nice place there to pitch, maybe even a campsite, somewhere with a shower, somewhere we can pitch the tents and walk somewhere to get something to eat, a nice pub, something like that. So it's a slow pack down, it's about 6 o'clock in the morning now, and then we will start heading off towards Langdale, past Coniston, up past Tarn Hows, and on our way. So where we stayed last night was a place called Lowick. We've just come up over the hill, just above it, and we're dropping down now towards Coniston and in that direction, but you can just see the old man of Coniston, so we've still got a fair way to go until we're actually in the mountains, but that's where we're heading. It's really windy up here. I'm really glad that we chose the spot we did last night. It's just super windy here today. Pretty soon though we'll drop down into the into Grisdale Forest, that area, and we'll get out of this wind. What a day though, what a day. It's about 7:30 in the morning and it's complete blue skies everywhere. Right, let's crack on. Got a fair way to go. It's deep off here, isn't it, as well?
Yeah.
Good spot for swimming.
Yeah, yeah.
Ooh.
Good dog.
So we're around 22 kilometres in. We've just got to Lake Coniston and we're walking up towards the town of Coniston. So far so good. The weather's still holding out, blue skies everywhere, so we can't complain. Legs are feeling good, feet are giving me no issues at all.
You got any gob sausage?
Mushroom.
Oh, spit that out. You dirty dog.
I got some up there.
I'm feeling good after that breakfast. Stopped at a place in Coniston called the Black Bull, I think it was, and enjoyed a lovely full English breakfast. And I think we're the only people in there on a Friday at dinner time. Madness.
Wow, what a place.
This is common gorse. Kind of tastes like sweet peas. And there's loads of it here. It's all over. You can see it all over the mountainside up there. The deers and the hares in the area and graze on that stuff all day. Oh, why am I doing this to myself? Come on. Come on. Oh, I really shouldn't be doing that to myself.
Oh.
So we've just passed 40-kilometre mark and we've come past Elderwater Guest House and we're both starting to feel a little bit of pain in the knees, a little bit of pain in the legs. So the plan is we're going to head towards Langdale Valley and head for a campsite called Bays Brown, which is one we're both familiar with. So at the campsite we can take use of the showers and the wash facilities and freshen up, that kind of thing. So we're going to carry on down into the bottom of this valley towards the start of the Langdale Valley, find somewhere to get something to eat, a few refreshments and stock up on some things for snacks and stuff for tonight.
we're in. We found a campsite. It was supposed to be £12.50 a night, which is fine, but when they realised we were on the Cumbria Way, they said there's a discount, and it's only £10 per night, just because we're not taking really much of a footprint up. So yeah, £10 a night. We've got showers, wash facilities and all sorts, so we took full advantage of that. Feeling much fresher now, ready for getting back on the trail tomorrow. We ended up doing about 34 kilometres today. Tomorrow's only about 25, so we'll be able to start a little bit later in the morning and not have to worry about getting up and off the trail before anyone starts walking on it. So yeah, probably just going to eat and get an early night tonight, ready for tomorrow. That's about it really, so we'll see you tomorrow on day 3. So, we've just left the campsite. It's about 9 o'clock. We put it off a little bit because we was trying to avoid as much of this rain as possible, but we overheard a few other people saying that it's here for the day. We wasn't able to get any weather reports because we got really no reception or no signal here in Langdale Valley. So we just figured, get us tents down, get cracking. So where we're heading now is we're going down the Langdale Valley towards Mickleden, which makes sense because I don't think I've ever been in the Langdale Valley and it's not been pouring with rain. Seems to be always wet here in this place of the Lake District. And then we've got the highest point of the trail, which is up over Stake Pass, which is climbing up to about 500 metres. And then we drop down into Rothwaite. The plan is to get up over Stake Pass as fast as possible. So my apologies if there's a lack of filming, but I'm just trying to stay dry and stay out of the rain and the elements as much as possible. Once we drop down into Rothwaite, we're going to start looking for somewhere to camp and set the tents up as soon as possible. Get out this rain as fast as we can. So let's push on down towards Mickleden and then we'll start the high climb up over Stake Pass. One thing I do take from this is that it really goes to show that on a long multi-day hike you really do have to think carefully about what you bring with you. I mean, we've had glorious weather for the last 2 days and then we've been hit with this weather on the 3rd day. And if I wouldn't have packed waterproofs, I mean I've only got a thin waterproof jacket, but this is a really high hydrostatic head jacket, so it sheds the rain really well for me. But I'm in shorts at the minute, which are staying dry just because we're moving fast enough that my body heat is keeping them dry. But yeah, if you looked at the weather on Thursday, you'd have seen that the next 4 days were supposed to be ultra clear skies and high temperatures of 15 to 18 degrees, and you just can't predict that that's always going to be the way. Stake Pass completed, highest point on the trail done, and I'm feeling a little bit low on energy. My blood sugars seem to be kicking me a little bit. I did have a bit of chocolate before starting the climb up here, but I'm going to stop now and have something real, maybe a cup of coffee or something. I do need to find some more water because I dumped all my water out before coming up here. Just didn't want to carry an extra 2 kilos. I know there's water up here, so no problem doing that. But yeah, that kicked my arse a little bit. Normally it wouldn't, but
given the fact that we've been walking for 3 days. I think that's probably what's done it. And I need to be on top of it with my food, what I'm eating, what I'm consuming, to make sure I've got enough energy. It is downhill from here, but it's still a fair way. Another 12 kilometres until we get to where we want to be, so I need to make sure that I do it correctly and get enough energy on board. Right, let's get some water and let's rehydrate after that climb.
We both agreed that ultimately this is the lowest point for us on the walk. The boggy terrain and the sharp rocks made it very slow going. To make matters worse, when we reached Stonethwaite, nowhere was really selling any food. Fortunately, a small cafe was still selling some lamb pasties from lunch. £6 later, I practically inhaled the pasty. It really wasn't anything to write home about.
So, we've just been looking at some maps, and we're currently in the forest south of Derwent Water. And we're actually only about 10 kilometres away from the finish in Keswick, which is where we're going to be finishing our walk. And we've still got another camp before that happens. We still are going to pitch up for one more night, and the plan is to get somewhere nice around Derwent Water, and then in the morning it's going to be an early start so that we can get into Keswick for 9:30 and catch some transport back to Ulverston, which is where the car's parked. We are both starting to feel it now. This distance is not something that's common for either of us, and long trail multi-day hikes is something that we want to do a little bit more of, so the Cumbria Way was a good starter for us. Let's get some practice in and see how it is. But yeah, we're both starting to feel it now. We're about 65 kilometres in walking wise, and my right knee, which is an ongoing issue that I've had for many years, is starting to seize up a little bit, and Andy's feet, he says, are starting to really sting. I think he's got a couple of blisters developing and stuff like that, so we are starting to feel it. So it'd be a bit of a blessing to stop somewhere soon and pitch up and not really rush it to Keswick. So when I last spoke to you, I was just getting to the bottom of Derwent Water, to the south end of it. We're now at the north end of it, and we followed the lake all the way up to the north. We're really struggling to find a pitch, so we're kind of just looking around, but getting closer and closer to Keswick. So we're hoping we can find somewhere. Otherwise, we'll be spending the night in Keswick until.
We strolled into Coniston with the sun setting, with full knowledge that we was about to have one of the roughest nights in our wild camping history. We found a field in the corner of Keswick and got our heads down. We were exhausted, we were sore, but we were very content. In total, we had travelled 83 kilometres and had completed a challenge that we had set out to do. And when we woke up in the morning, in what can only be described as the bog of Keswick, we both sat back and reflected on the last few days. The Cumbria Way is a truly spectacular trail, and we will both definitely be back for more.